So welcome everyone to Boost Your Agency's Productivity with Sabre Central. This presentation will be hosted by speaking to you. My name is Jimena. I'm the Sales Campaign Specialist in the NAM Sales Select team. And Ignacio Gaymonat will be sharing with you some tips, tricks, and some useful information regarding Sabre Central today. So before we begin, some important information. This event will last 45 minutes. Please keep your lines muted at all times. We are recording this event, so don't worry. We'll be sharing with you a recording afterwards. We'll also be sharing with you a complete guide of everything we will see today. We'll be sharing with you a small survey after the event, so it would be great if you could fill it. So to give us important feedback about what you think of this event, so we can deliver more events like this or things that you find useful and you want to learn more about. There's a chat and a Q&A available in the top of your screen. The first bubble is the chat, and then you have two bubbles, which is the Q&A. You can send your questions there, and we'll be answering them during the event. We also have at the end of the event a section dedicated to the questions. So before we begin, a small poll that we want to share with you. So if you can answer, first of all, what are the primary pain points or challenges your agency faces in its daily operations within the travel industry? You can check more than one answer at the time. Let's give it a few seconds so you can reply. So, okay. Thank you. We move on to the next one. How do you envision leveraging a Sabre Central suite of tools to address these challenges and improve your agency's productivity? Again, you can pick more than one answer. Okay, thank you. And the last one is, are there any specific features or functionalities within Sabre Central suite of tools that you are particularly interested in exploring further for your agency needs? Thank you for answering. So tips and tricks are the main thing to learn today. Okay, this is our agenda for today. We'll be discussing the agency workflow, the tools. We have a section for Q&A, and afterwards we'll be sharing you resources and next steps. And with that, I'm gonna pass it to Ignacio. Nacho, whenever you're ready, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Jime. Thanks everyone for joining. Let's go ahead and show you how Sabre Central looks like. But before that, Jime, can you go to the next slide so we can show them how they can log in to Sabre Central, because they have a couple options. One of them is to go straight to central.sabre.com to that URL, and then you put your EPR or sign in, password, and PCC, and that's one of the ways that you can log into Sabre Central. But the most common one, it will be the next one. Please, Jime. That will be through Sabre, because as you use the the blue screen or use Sabre all the time for your operations, basically you go to community on the top, and then you have plenty of options, but one of them is Sabre Central. So just click on there, and then you are already connected to Sabre Central, which is what I'm going to show right now. So let me go ahead and share the screen. Can anyone see it?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's assume that you already log into Sabre Central. So you have plenty of options to go to. You always go straight to the homepage, but actually I'm going to show this at last, because in the homepage, what you have is a summary of all your activities that you do or you have done within Sabre Central. So let me go ahead and first show you the options that you have on the top, and then we go to like the summary page so you can see more or less what this is about. So let's go ahead and check on the tabs that we have on the top. You have you log into Sabre Central, but you can also go to different places here. You can go to Marketplace, which is the tool where you look for products. We're gonna see it briefly in a few minutes. You have the App Center, which is basically the same, but you can search for apps, and the Developer Partner Network. So you can also go to different places within Sabre Central. Besides the homepage, we have you have my agency, agent community, support, DRS training, and these tools here that I'm going to show in a couple of minutes. My agency, what my agency does, of course, I'm going to go to each one later, but just to give a brief summary, my agency, you have information of how to manage your agency, and you can order terminal addresses, you can look at reports, and different things that we're going to see in a few seconds. You have an agent community, which is basically a way that you can ask a question in case you have doubt, but it's a different way that we have in support. Agent community, basically what it does is you ask other agents about different topics or different questions, and you can see basically what they have been talking about in the last few days. So you also have that information there. Support is where you create cases. We're going to see it as well. The direct reference system, that's information that the suppliers put on the system. And then you have the training options. Here on the right, you can search. You have the notifications. So basically, this is very important because once you create cases, then if they answer to your case, you're going to see a notification in here. You can look, you can change your region, you can change your language here as well. And here's where you set your profile. Your profile is very important because the information that you have there, for instance, at least the email address, is very important, as you're gonna receive also notifications to that email address, and it's important to keep your address updated as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to each one. Let's first go to my agency. This is a training mode. We do not have all the tabs. You're gonna have another one that is reports, that we're gonna see it on different screen later. But let me first focus on the second one. I'm not going to start by the first one. I'm going to start the second one because this is the most important one, because depending on the rights and the permissions that you have here, you or your agents, is that you can do other stuff within the system. So let's go to manage site access. This is the PCC, the test PCC that I'm using. So you have here, you're going to see all the APRs, all the IDs that are active for your agency, and you have different options here to provide that access to those agents. So depending on the check marks that you have here is what you can do in the web page. For instance, if you have this right, the billing right, that means that if you submit a questions to the billing team or to the account management team, they are going to be able to answer or not, or provide you information, details about your billing if you have this check mark or not. Otherwise, we will not be able to discuss this with your agency. For ordering, if you do not have this activated, you cannot order any terminal addresses, any product, anything within Sabre Central. Same with reports. You cannot put on a report if you do not have this mark. And this is very important because here it gives you the access for you to decide which agent is able to do different things depending on the operation that you have with your agency. So it's very important that you have this updated. If you do not, you can contact us in the account management team so we can go ahead and update it, or you can go ahead if you have this activated for your agency, site admin, or the ordering, you can basically give rights to whoever you would like to. But first, you need to have these rights activated. In order to provide the rights, it's very simple. Just go ahead. I don't have it here because it's a training mode, but you can just go and select here. You have like an edit option and just give the right and click save. It's very, very simple. But again, this is very important, but because depending on what you have here, is what you can do in the web page or in basically in different areas like billing or contract, depending on the rights that you have. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to my agency. I already talked about my SI access. Now, let's say that you have the ordering rights activated like I do in this testing mode. So we're gonna go ordering and show you what you can do in this and in this place. You can search for the order history. Basically, let's select again this training PCC. I don't have any orders here, or this is a training mode, so I don't see it. But basically, any orders that you have put in here, you'll see here, and you will check the status of the order to see, if it has been processed, completed, canceled, depending on the different options that you can see in here. So you have different options to add. I'm gonna just talk about the most common ones. You can add a new branch for your agency. You can add a new multiple PCC. Just to briefly provide with a difference between two. Multiple PCC is where you need a different PCC, but let's say for operational purposes or for reports, but that PCC has to have the same information than the main PCC, meaning the same IATA and in the same name. If that is the case, then this is what you need. Just click on multiple PCC. Just fill out very simple information, submit, and then your order will be processed. The difference with the branch is that if you need to have a different physical address of a different IATA, then or different name for your branch, then what you need is a branch. Again, very simple to order. Just fill out the information. Of course, with the branch, they're going to ask a little bit more because the address changes, and you hit on next. So these will be the two different options that you have to order PCCs for your agency, right? Again, this is the idea for you to know this is for you to have the self-service tools. You don't have to contact different teams in order to create different PCCs or terminals. You can do it by yourself, just going to these places. Besides PCCs, you can add terminal addresses. Of course, I'm sure you're very familiar with the terminals, to connect agents to Sabre. You can add and you can delete here. Let's say go ahead and click on add terminal addresses. I don't know if it's gonna let me in the training mode, but basically you select your PCC, you select the terminal address that you want. This is a standard, but you can add printers, you can add back office terminal addresses. It's very simple. Just click, you select the quantity, and then you submit the order at the bottom. I'm not going to do it now, but it's very simple, and it will tell you here what will be the charge for the terminal addresses. Again, it doesn't tell me because it's a training mode, but you should see it here as well. So you can order here, and this is automatic process. You're going to receive it, and you can, of course, as soon as you process, you can go to the order status and you can check to see if that terminal is ready. Once it's ready, you click here and you'll have the terminal address number for you to provide to this new agent or whoever you want to provide it to. Again, besides add terminal, you go to delete terminal addresses. In here, as soon as you put the PCC, it's going to list all the terminals that you have, and you can just select the ones that you want to delete. Again, this is important as we charge you for terminal addresses. So if you do not use some of the terminals, it's good for you to manage and delete the ones that you will not be using. So it's important for you to manage this part as well. The bottom ones, I'm not gonna mention, I'm not gonna go to each one, but basically you can also disconnect branches, multiples, you can change address, you can have order requests. There are many things that you can do here, but the most important or the ones that they use the most are the ones that you see on the top. Okay, remember, this is agency ordering. Here is to order PCCs and terminals. If you want to order a product, that is a different place, which is marketplace. We're going to see it also in this webinar. So again, let's go to my agency. Beside these two options, you have data merge. I'm not going to go into many details, but this is if you want to migrate some of your PNRs or bookings to other GDS, either from the other GDS to Sabre or from Sabre to other GDS. Here it tells you the procedure, customer guides, what you need to do, FAQs, and the history of what you have requested. So this is important for you to know or to check in case you're going to request a data merge for your future or in case you have done it as well. Again, my agency, we have already covered these three. Let's go to agency setup tools. This is, we update this, pretty often to put some more information, depending on different things that we have. Here, at least in this training mode, you have two options. You have scripts for branch access, and you have a script that you can download for APR creation. So you can take advantage of both of them. You can put information and you can continue. Again, if we put some more information in the future, you're going to see it here as well. But it's important information for you to set up new agents to the agency instead of basically going to the whole manual process. Okay, again, let's go to my agency. Setup tools. Then this, of course, I'm sure you guys have seen this in the past, the David memo. You click on here in case you need to check the status of a David memo that you have submitted, or in case you need to submit a David memo for review. Here you can see the status, this part. This is, of course, if you have already submitted a David memo. In case you need assistance by the David memo team, you can do it here. Select the details and the supporting information. This is probably the most important one on this page because it's important to understand and to know how the David memo proceeds, how the David memo works in each market. Because there are many things that you need to do for the David memo to be processed correctly. So it's, here you have information in different languages, FAQs, and the fair guarantee policy, which states what is covered by Sabre and what is not covered. So it's important for you to read it as well. Let me go ahead to click back on my agency, BVR and LC booking info. Also, we updated this constantly. It tells you, which of the airlines or the low-cost airlines are being paid for incentives, which one are not, depending on the point of sale, depending on the market. It says here if it's not applicable for incentive or not. So you have information here about what this means, what group means, and what this means for your incentive payment of the bookings. Let's go back to my agency, and then I'm going to show you reports, which is not here, but let me see if I can move here. Okay. Can you see the new screen that I put in here for reports? Okay, yes. Perfect. Report. Again, this is also very important for you to know because there's a lot of things that you can do yourself without contacting someone in Sabre. Again, this only can be done by the agents that have the reporting right checkmarked on the managed access, what I showed you at the beginning. Again, there are many reports. I'm not going to go to all of them, but you can check. You can see how many bookings you have done by PCCs. You can also do a report by bookings by carrier or by agent sign if you want to see the productivity by someone in the agency or how many bookings you have done by different carriers. And you have different reports. You have hotel detail reports, lodging guarantee. This is only the ones for booking. Then you have more on the left. You can check for operational reports if you want to know EPR activity, password management report. This one tells you how many of the agents have set up the questions for the tool on the password reset. And I think this is probably the most important one, which it tells you how many terminals you currently have, terminal addresses you currently have on your agency. Again, this is important. Remember, I showed you at the beginning how to delete terminal addresses and that we charge you per terminal address. So it's important for you to know how many you have in case sometimes when you're going to order a new terminal addresses, maybe it's better for you to check here in case maybe you have one available to give to some other agent. You have also scan information, scan report, and then specialty reports you can do by products, automated exchanges, or travel protections. So again, this you do not see it in my testing mode, but you should see it on yours. So let me go ahead and go back to where I was. Okay, so with that, I show you all the information that you have within my agency. Again, just to summarize very quickly, this is very important because it tells you, who is allowed to do different things in the system, or at least in this page, how to order PCCs and terminal addresses, and this is also information about different topics that you may encounter in your operations. Now let's go to agent community. Remember that I mentioned at the beginning, more or less what this was. This is maintained, let's say, by each user. Basically, you answer questions, and then someone that has knowledge and it's another agent basically responds that. You can ask the community, you can see the trending topics, what basically they have been discussed recently, and you can see, the discussion about this. Of course, it's a training mode, so you're not gonna see much, but then you can look for different topics, and you can see also articles, and it tells more or less, you see how to book PNRs, EasyJet, different things. This is important because there's a way for you to perhaps avoid contacting the support team if you find the information in here. Again, this is maintained by the agents that work within the system, right? It's basically not maintained by our support department. So, but it is an important way for you to know that, for you to have information about things that you need to do in your operational. The difference between this one and this one is the support ones is when you need to contact someone from Sabre to assist you in different areas, or also you have a lot of information to look for by yourself. But this is maintained by Sabre, so we are the ones that provide the information in here. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this. The first option, which is ask other agent, is basically tells you to takes you to agent community. So you go straight here. So it's another way to look for them. Something that is very useful for a lot of agency, which is Finder. In Finder is where you can find information for different commands or different things that you do on the screen. And again, the idea is for your agency to be able to look for this by yourself without contacting the support. Let's say, by instance, this is the by GDS or market, but let's say that we search for EPR, just to provide an example. And then you see right here, it tells you how to create an EPR, how to modify an EPR. So sometimes you can do this yourself without contacting someone from Sabre. Again, it's filtered by topic. If you encounter errors, password tools, depending on what you need, just go ahead and click, and it tells you how to do different things. Let me go ahead and see if this, okay, here it tells you all the commands, what you need to do in order for you to create this EPR. Let me go ahead and go back to where I was. And if this is something that you use pretty often, you can just check mark here. You can select as favorite, and then for the next time, you already have it. You already have it there. So this is basically Finder. Again, this is more oriented to the support teams, to technical or product support issues with commands on the system. Let's go back to support. And here is my support cases. Basically, what you do is once you open a case, you're gonna see the status of the case in this page here. You also have it on the home screen, which I'm gonna show at the end. But basically, in order for you to see here, you need to create a case, and that's what you do in here. Get help. So every time you need assistance from different teams in Sabre, you go and click in and create a case in here. So once you do it, it takes you straight to the create case page. It's very simple to create a case. First, you need to select that option. This is very important because this is going to route your question to the teams that are going to manage your question. So if you do not select the appropriate option, then it may take more time for you to receive an answer, because we need then that team is not going to answer your question. It's going to direct you to another team. But let's say, for instance, that you want to speak to the management team. So you select agency management. And then you have information about your contract, or you want to know information about your contract. So select contract administration. Then I'm gonna use test mode in here. Let's go next. When you go next, then it asks you to put more information about what you're inquiring. So this will be like the body of the case. You also can attach a screenshot if you want, or you can copy someone else in case you're interested. Then you go to next. And here is very important. It tells what is the email that you have associated with this, with Sabre Central. That's what I mentioned at the beginning, that your profile is very important to have it updated, because you're going to receive notification to this email address. In my case, this is my email. So let's go ahead and submit this. And again, very simple, just 3 steps. They ask a couple simple questions. And this way, so this is taking time because of a training mode. It shouldn't be that long, but it tells here what is the case that you have created. The create date, the case has been received, information about the case. And here is below, once you go to my support cases, you here see all the different discussions and comments that someone from Sabre has put into your case. Here you already have received, in this case, an automatic email that your case has been received. You have the case number, and you have different options in here. Okay, so that will be how you see case. In case if you need to add more information, you can still do it. You can add a file. Sometimes the support teams put an article in here for you to read, where the information can be found in here. So this is how you create a case. Again, remember what I mentioned at the beginning, that you have your own self-service tools. So depending on the topic that you select, a case may be available or not. I'm going to show now that in a few seconds. Let's go ahead and go back to support. We already created, so we go to support cases and see the cases that we have created, right? In this case, I just created a couple of test cases. If the case that you have created is billable, you're going to see a check mark in here. What does it mean that it's billable? Is that if you are asking a question that you could have checked yourself for the answer in Finder in different places, then Sabre charges you per the contact, because we already provide you the self-service tool for you to do it yourself. So that's when you're going to see the billable case. So that's why it's important for you to try to look for your answer first. If you do not find it, of course, you can contact us. If it's a new topic, for instance, NDC, or any hot topic that is new to the industry, to Sabre, we have a period of time where that charge is not processed. It's not charged, because we understand that it takes time for your agency to understand or to get familiar with a new issue. So again, this is where you have your support cases, and you can see the status of it. Let's go ahead and click back to support. We already covered these 4. These are probably the most important ones. Here you have more options. You can provide a feedback to the web page, which is also always important. You have some forms and templates. I guess you need to use. Sometimes here you have like the ACH for deposit, of other legal things that you need in order for you to receive payment in your account. You have downloads. You have different applications that you can download here. So it's good for you to go into each one and take a look. Again, for time, each one, I'm gonna click perhaps in this tool, which is important. Agency security. As you know, this is a very important topic. And here you have a lot of guidelines and information and best practices about how to maintain your agency safe. Best practices, you have the guidelines, what restriction you should give to EPRs. You have phishing email library. It tells basically what are the emails that are going through now to phishing emails for you to take a look and make sure to not open them. And you have also different guidelines and information. And here as well, if you believe that your agency um, has been basically going to fraud, or how someone has gone into your agency unauthorized, you click in here and they just fill this information and the security team will receive this. So that's what I went into this forum, because I believe this is a very important topic for us to cover. Go again, I went again to support. Let's go and click very quick on additional support resources. I wanted to show this as well. You have a lot of information about hot topics that we have in Sabre and in the industry now. You can click and look for information for Sabre Central. Again, this we already cover. You have information about NDC and some other topics that we put in here. You have special programs. You can see the different programs for some of the airlines. And you have information about the industry, ARC, PCI. So there's a lot of information here in the additional supports for you to take a look. Again, I'm not going to cover all of them because of time constraint. So this is pretty much what you see on the support screen. Let's go briefly to DRS. Again, as I showed at the beginning, DRS is the information that the suppliers put here for you to know. This is completely maintained by them. So you may have some airlines, some hotels that do not put in information here. It's completely optional. But let's select something for you to have an idea. Let's select hotel, and let's select booking.com for CSL. This is also a very hot topic now, contact service for lodging. So you already put the information here, and let's say that you want to know how commissions are handled. So you put this information in here, select these three options, and you have information, how to receive information by booking.com. Again, this is maintained by them. So if you need more information, you can contact them directly. I just selected hotel, but you can do airlines on different things here as well. Okay, so let's go to the last tab here, which is the training tab. Here, because we are in training environment, it's not going to take me to what I need to show you. Screen and have the training page. This is what you should see for your agency once you click on that tab. This is very important because we have different courses. The webpage have a lot of material for you to read. You have self-paced courses. You have instructor-led. You have the calendar of the different webinars and different training options that you have. Library. So there's a lot of information for you to have here. Again, if you do self-service courses, they do not have a charge. If you enroll to one of the instructor ones, depending on the topic, they may have a charge or not. But you'll have that information once you start doing the registration. Again, there's many things for me to show you, but I'm not going to go into details of each one. My suggestion is for you to go ahead and take a look, because this is very important for you and your agents, even if they're new or not. It's important for them to be familiar with the topics that we have currently in the market. So that will be the training page. Let me go ahead and go back to where I was. I already showed all the tabs in here, so let's go again to the homepage. But again, as I said, I was going to show that at the end. So now it makes more sense what you see here, because you have here information about the cases that you have submitted. Remember that I had two, so you have two cases in here. I'm going to show this in a few seconds. You have all the orders for PCC and training terminal addresses. And if you have registered to a training, you also are going to see it here. So basically, it's a summary of what you have pending for you in Sabre Central. And on the right-hand side, you have quick links. Instead of going to different paths, you can go straight to Finder, you can go straight to Marketplace, or you can ask the community. Also below, this is also updated pretty often. You have news and updates about the industry. You can take a look and you can read more in case you would like. Okay, so basically this is what you have in Sabre Central. Let me briefly go to Marketplace just for a few seconds. I'm not gonna show the whole Marketplace. As you know, it's good for you to go there and start looking for different products for your agency. But let me just click in here so you can see it. Again, you can just go back selecting Marketplace in here. So this is the tool that you have to order products for your agency. You can order products by categories, depending on what you need, or if you already know the product, you can search in here. Let's say you want to order NDC, you search for NDC and you have different options of what you want to order. Let's say I click on American Airlines here, and once I click, then it tells what the product is about and different information about the product itself. And if you want to order, just accept the condition, you add to cart, and then submit the order. All products tells before you order, it tells the product tells you if there is a fee for the product or if it's a free. As you can see here, you have a paid product or a free product. Again, you cannot order a product if you are not authorized to for the managed site access tool that I showed you at the beginning. If you're not authorized to order different products, so you have to have ordering rights in order to do that. You can just check for the products and see more or less what the product does. Some of the product, they have a demo in here where you can click and see what the product is about. After that, you click order, and you should be ready to start using that product. So let me go back one more time. I know that we have a few more minutes for probably for questions, but again, just to summarize what you have seen, this is the Sabre Central page. You log in, you get into this by either Sabre or by URL. You can type central.sabre.com. And then within the page, you have a way to open a case for the product support team. You have a way to look for your own resources in the support. And in my agency, you can manage your agency. You can select who sees different things in the system, and you can order PCC, terminal addresses, and product as well. And also you have more other support information, and you have the training options for you in your agency to be able to go ahead and enroll. So that's pretty much what we wanted to show about Sabre Central.